Well, good afternoon. Let's start with badges in my fucking neck. Good afternoon. Well, as arrows. Oh, God. Right, let's find out who's here. Most handsome guy in ALR is in this race. Hang on, where is he? Where is he? There he is. He's all the way back here in the 11th. You're not using a tape recorder, right? No, this is a different headset. Does it sound okay? Does it sound weird? Because it is a different headset. If it's too weird and if it's too bad, then I'll switch back to my old headset. It's just It's probably the fan of my PS, I'm not going to lie to you. Is this any better? I've tweaked something. There is a lot of wind in the UK, and for once it's not coming out of a human's backside, and I mean that as a joke. It is quite windy here in the UK. So right. Well, audio issues set aside for a moment. The most handsome people in ALR are back here, in my opinion, but what are you doing back here? Right. How long has it been? It's been 4 minutes. Let's just get started, because by the time I faff around with things and bits and bobs, it'll be about the right time. Let me scroll back on the standings. Okay, we want to be going around about here. No, we want to go back one more. There we go. So, welcome to round 6. I know I'm a little bit behind, but I'm going to do one today. I'm going to do one on Thursday as well. So, if anyone wants to see round 7 of Dragon Trail on Thursday, please jump on in. Welcome back to Tier 2. Let's just do a very, very, very brief and quick recap of the top 5 in the standings at the moment. So first we got Senor Fac with a 38-point lead to Arcus in second. We got Tap in third, Mortal in fourth, and Turbo rounding off the top 5. Excuse me. Now from third quite the way back, actually, it's all quite a tight game to play for. There's about between Prime in 12th and Turbo in 5th, there is about 20 points to play for. So it's actually quite a tight, really quite a tight-knit midfield, which is really, really good to see. And we'll come to that in a bit. In the the constructor side, we got the Lamborghinis taking off with just shy of 200 points, with the AMGs currently in joint second with the Alfa Romeos, and then the Corvettes bringing up technically third, but, well, kind of third, but technically fourth. Now, that being said, you're just hanging out. Yeah, fair, hanging around. Let's crack on with the grid. So we got Mortal in a very good qualifying position in first position with the Corvette. We got Arcus in second. We got Polti. Welcome in. I'm not going to say the word because it's going to summon an inner demon of the dude himself. I'm just going to glance over that car for just a moment. I'll call him in a bit. We then got Scotty in fourth, Prime in fifth, Senor Fack in sixth, Tap in seventh, Higsy in eighth, with Claus in ninth. So two Porsches. So we've got sort of about a mid-grid lockout, but their starts are going to be impeding those drivers in 10th and back. We then got Mason in 10th, rounding off the top 10 in the Peugeot. I've driven that car around this track a couple of seasons ago when Auto decided to use turn 1 as a optional extra. Let's leave that there, because this gentleman, Pyro, still hasn't done that set of comms, because it is... I think he hasn't done it. Anyway, too far back, can't remember. So we got Pyro in 11th, Tico in 12th, Ross in 13th, Turbo in 14th, Aro in 15th, and we got Kanata bringing up the rear in the best car in the game. Without further ado, let's get cracking. We got 5 red lights, and it's go as we leave the start line. Arcus doesn't get a great start as Mortal. Polti gets a fantastic start in that Viper. Polti comfortably in second place. Arcus is a bit further back, can't quite catch up onto the back of these guys. I'm just going to try and keep up as anybody dive going. Oh, you can tell by my silence it's going to go well. Let's jump back. Let's go back and follow DK. So Claus and Higsy get a good Porsche start, as good as Porsche starts can get. Ross gets a great start, so does Pyro, so does Kanata. Turbo and Aro are a little bit further back. Let's go further forward here. I want to kind of take this a little bit slower. So there was a little bit of contact between Polti and Arcus. Prime, what's happened with Scotty? How could... There's a car in front of you, my friend. So, Scotty nearly turns around Prime. Tap's going around the outside of Scotty. Further back we got... Let's jump back from here. We got 3 wide going through turn 1. This is going to end very well for somebody. Mason on the very inside at the moment. It's 2 Porsches at the moment. I think Claus is stationary, isn't he? Yeah, he pretty much is stationary. He's trying to get back over to the right hand side to try and clear the inside line of technically turn 2. Gets absolutely annihilated by Kanata with really nowhere else to go. He ghosts, luckily, because there's tons of cars behind. Well, there's 3 cars wide behind him. Ross is in the middle of all this. Claus hits Higsy, his own teammate. Higsy then hits Mason. There's more carnage going on further back here as more cars just keep playing ping pong with each other. Mason drops from about 8th after a fantastic start all the way down to 16th. Aro's tried to make up he's now made up a position, so it's a great start from him. Kind of goodish start from him. Kanata gets a really good start from the back of the pack out the whole lot. No, fair enough. No, fair enough. I mean, it's Monza turn 1. You can't always help it. Ross versus Kanata as we come down through turn 3 up to turn 4. Kanata holds the inside line at the moment. Let's stay back here for just a second. No, we're not. No, we're not. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on up here? I've spent so much time looking at turn 1s and 2s. I haven't seen the fact that Polti's got an absolute monster of an exit compared to his American rival, the Corvette, as they go side by side through turn 3. Mortal's got the inside lines, trying to push Polti out wide. Not going to work. Polti's now got the inside line as they come up to this left-right of turns 4 and 5. Fantastic move done by Polti as he takes the lead in Tier 2. Arcus is still in 3rd, Prime's still in 4th, Simul Facts up in 5th, Pyro's up to 8th, so a great start from him. Further back, everyone else is keeping it clean at the moment. Deco's in 10th, Ross is in 11th, Knatta's in 12th, so a great start from that Z4. Claus is down to 13th. What the hell did I just witness? Oh, I just lit it up on the AstroTurf and then put a bit more throttle on the grass. That's very unlucky from Turbo. So that's Turbo's sprint race pretty much null and void. He's now out of the tow. Aro's got a 1 second penalty, which is going to cost him quite a bit if I remember rightly. Excuse me. Kanata's got himself a 1 second penalty as well. So this is going to bring Aro's going to drop right behind that Peugeot. Not going to be Turbo's just way out in the back, but going further forward to the front, Polti is the one that takes the lead. No, Polti, excuse me, takes the lead at the end of the first lap. I was hoping to keep that camera angle then. Looking further back, we got Tap versus Pyro. If I can get my English words correct today, it'd be lovely as Pyro outbrakes Tap slightly. He's going to have the outside line turn 1, inside line for turn 2. This now, did I just hear some squeals on back here? Nope, okay. Everyone's alive. So Tap hung out to dry a little bit. Higgsy's now going to try and close up the gap to the back of Tap. Tap trying to stick his nose up the inside of Pyro, not going to work this time. Higgsy's going on the racing lines now, close right up to the back of Tap. This is a great battle for 8th at the moment. Looking further back, Natta has managed to get ahead of Ross, but he's now got 1 second penalty, which is going to drop him to the back of this pack, of that specific pack, excuse me. Further up ahead, Deco's now all over the back of Higgsy. Higgsy's dropped off a little bit from the back of Tap. There's Kanata. Great opening start to this race at Monza compared to last time out. Looking further up ahead, Deco's tried to have a look going into this sequence of corners. I've forgotten what the name is, what it's called, even though it's a very famous track. That's not how you do it, Deco. One of the few Italian cars here at Monza, the Temple of Speed. It's considered home for some of these cars, not the Lamborghini clearly. That's not how you come out onto this back straight, so this might... Nope, Turbo's going to be too far back. He might have the overspeed though. Let's just stay with him for just a moment before we go back further forward. Kanata down to 14th after having served that penalty. Arcus takes the fastest lap at the moment. No, not close enough. Mason's got himself a half second penalty. Going further forward, Claus is in the wheel tracks of Ross. Going further forward than that, we've got a change for the lead as well. Let's go back a couple of seconds. Let's jump up to the top 3. What's going on up here? So as Mortal takes the inside of Polti does not defend going into Parabolica. Arcus just sits behind, plays for time. Polti right out onto the AstroTurf on the outside. Now forcing I'm going to say forcing Monty into the inside, but it's now a slipstream battle as we come down the start-finish straight. We're definitely 2 wide in for P2 at the moment. We're about to become 3 wide for P1. I'm going to go on board with Prime because this is going to be too much for the cinematic camera angle to watch. Arcus does very, very late on the brakes going into 1, manages to hold it. Mortal's lost out 3 positions in 1 corner. Polti's still all over the back of Arcus as we come out of turn 2, going up towards the run of turn 3. We're going around the right-hander. Polti did this move on Mortal 2 laps ago, so he knows what to do and he knows how to do it. As we can hit the brakes, Prime gets very late and very brave on the brakes. Arcus is even braver on the brakes as he manages to keep Polti away from the first position at the moment. Polty trying to shut the door on Prime. That's not going to work. As we go around Lesmo's 1. I believe it's called Lesmo's 1. As we come around the second. Yeah, it's the second Lesmo's. That's it. Polty hasn't got the exit he wants. As we come down through this left-hander underneath the old part of the Monza banked curve, there it is. As here comes Mortal. Mortal's giving his teammate a push to go up the inside of Polty as we come up to this sequence of corners. Arcus out in front at the moment, got some clean air. Got to try and break the toe whilst he can, whilst these guys all fight for position. The two Corvettes, they're going to work together. They are going to work together, but how are they going to work together as we come up to Parabolica? Polty around the outside, Prime's going up the inside. Can Mortal give his teammate another little push again? There's another push. I think that push just helped Polty just a little bit. Let's stay with these guys for now. Senor Fax still in the background at the moment. He's starting to catch up to these guys, all battling it out. Further back, we've got Tap, who's passed Pyro, and Higgsy's now in the tyre tracks of Pyro. Ross at the moment holds off Claus and Ara. Mason's in 13th, Kanata's in 14th, slowly closing up. Deco's in 15th, and Turbo's still in the background at the moment. I'm going to go back a couple of seconds and watch this again. Let's go from Mortal's point of view. Another little bump just before. Ooh, careful, lads. It's very dangerous as we're coming into turn 1. Oh, you do not do that to your own teammate. Oh dear, what's gone on here? So there's a bump there. There's a little bit of contact there. Prime's doing his absolute best. He's full on the brakes to try and slow that Corvette down. And that, I don't think he was expecting Polty to come across like that. So Polty's now cleared of this. Prime's in a really, really bad position because he's now going to go wide. His trajectory at the moment is going that direction. Mortal's got to be a little bit careful. I get it, side by side going through his, you never really do it. And that, I think, is just a complete accident. But this is now going to allow Senor Fact to come straight up. Excuse me, up into 4th position. Can Pyro capitalise? No, Pyro's a bit too far back to capitalise on the mistake between the two Corvette teammates. So Prime's now lost out on two to three spots in one corner because of a very, very, very minor, silly little mistake. It happens. It's turn 1 Monza. Now, Ara's got fastest lap of the race at the moment. We're only in lap 4, we're about halfway through. Let's jump back to near the back of the grid, actually, because let's see what's going on. Tap and Pyro still having a go at one another. Oh yeah, Alfa Romeo's another Italian car. Yeah, dumbass. Higgsy still in the wheel tracks of Tap. Just about in the wheel tracks of Tap. Let's jump on board with Tap, actually. As he does look to the inside of Pyro as we come up to the sequence of corners I've completely forgotten the name of. Does get this... let's go back and watch that again from a different point of view. So Pyro doesn't defend the inside here. Tap brakes very, very late. Pyro gets the braking absolutely spot on. Tap's on the curbs, which you don't really want to be. There's a little bit of a nudge there. Ooh. Oh dear. So Pyro absolutely nails that. Tap. Pyro does just about give Tap some room. Tap does have a bit of room to work with. Using the Tap on the sausage curbs is not going to help him. It's going to unsettle the car. Now going through here, Tap's turned in really early. I mean, look at Tap's steering angle compared to Pyro's. Okay, yeah, Pyro could turn in. He is turning in. He's starting to turn in, as you can see on his... There we go. Pyro is just about starting to turn in here. But to be fair, you kind of got to turn in there. And then because of that, there's the steering angle. He's just been helped a little bit by Tap, who, due to GT physics, has been absolutely thrown off and just killed all his speed. This is going to drop him back to potentially Kanata. Deco got himself, is that Deco helps? No, Ara's got himself a half-second penalty. Ara's not having a great race at all. Yeah, Tap's not quite, well, Kanata's not quite close enough to get onto the back of Tap, nowhere near close enough in actual fact. So, this promotes Claus up to reverse pole position at the moment. Going further forward, Prime's just dropped off a little bit of the back of the top 5 at the moment. Senor Fact doing a great job in 4th position at the moment. We're going to stay with the top 3 though, because Mortal's managed to get past Polty. I'm probably saying his name completely. I spotted that. Not only did I spot that, I heard that. Arcus, what have you done? Just lit up the rear wheels. That's pole position very much gone. He might even be at the back of the grid if he's not careful. There goes his teammate. Yep, that's the back of the grid job. So Arcus in one lap, in one corner, has gone from hero to absolute last. So hard race at the moment for Arcus. It's not out of the best of laps. Aro's not having the greatest of races either. He's down in 15th. He's starting to chase down Turbo though, who had a massive moment 5 laps ago. So he's now back up into 14th. He potentially could be in the running for a top 10 if something happens to the people ahead of him. Ross in 9th position. Solid race at the moment. Going further forward, Claus is back up into 8th. Higgsy's back up into 7th. So both Porsches side by side together again. Pyro's up into 6th. Great race from him at the moment. Way down the road is Prime, and there's sort of a no man's land on his own in 5th at the moment. Scotty's in 4th. Senor Fact has managed to get past him, stayed ahead of him, excuse me, in 3rd, as there's a contact ahead as we're going through turn 2. This is going to allow Senor Fact to get right up alongside as we're going up towards the right-hander, but those two V8 giants have just got much better top speed than the Lamborghini just behind. I'm going to jump on board actually, because Polty's just almost managed to go around the outside. He's trying to go around the outside of turn 4. Not going to work this time. I'm playing ping pong again. Coming out the back, everyone's bumping each other as we go round Lesmo's 1. Senor Fact can't go around the outside of that Viper. He's got to be careful though, because Scotty's sniffing the exhaust pipes at the moment in the background, with Prime just behind that. Let's jump on board with Prime. I think Prime might have a little, no he's not, he's backing off. He's going to wait until we hit to Parabolica. I think a lot of these drivers are now going to wait until we hit Parabolica. As both drivers take a lot of curb, an awful lot of curb, using the sausage curb, which is incredibly risky around that part of the track where you're going so quick and you can lose out so much time. Yeah, Pyro's nowhere near that group. Pyro's very much out of that slipstream train as we're going around Parabolica. No change of positions as the Corvette, as the Viper's livery has just disappeared. Half of people's liveries have actually disappeared. Oh no, there it is, it's back again. I'm smelling blood here. Prime does have a look. Oh, that was very close to contact between everybody. Prime very lucky to stop when he did. Let's leave them guys alone for just a moment. Hicksy's all over the back of Pyro. for 6th position, going a bit further back. Mason's in 9th, Taps in 10th, Ross is down to 11th. He's had a bit of a problem that previous lap. Kanata's in 12th, Deco's in 13th, Turbo's 14th, Arcus 15th, and Aro's 16th at the moment. So not the greatest race at the moment for Aro. As we go further back, Higgsy's got a really bad camera angle. Higgsy's managed to get past Pyro. Let's go back and watch that actually. He's coming up towards turn 4, Pyro. Excuse me, slightly outbrakes himself, gets a little bit loose on exit. He tries to shut the door on Higgsy. Can't quite manage, so Pyro is now dropped down to 7th position. Further up ahead, Prime's still within this group, so Scotty. These two just backed off just a little bit from the top 3. Still very much there, still very much in contention as we are on the penultimate lap. As we're coming up to these sequence of corners, we go around to the right. Again, Scotty and Prime taking a lot of curb. They seem to be carrying a bit more speed, and looking at people's fuel, Viper does not have great fuel at the moment. Sorry, excuse me for switching, I'm just looking at the fuel. Senor Fak and Scott here having a little go at each other. Let's go back and have a proper look at that, without me making everybody dizzy. So Senor Fak does not get the best of exit coming out of the one of the very twisty parts, fastest parts on the track. Senor Fak sits in the middle, defends the middle and then swings to outside. Scotty goes straight at the inside, tries to dummy him on the outside. It makes it work. Scotty holds third position at the moment. Senor Fak a little bit compromised coming out of the parabolica. Here comes Prime. Is Prime going to give Senor Fak a boost? No, he's not. He's going to go out of the slipstream and try and pass Senor Fak. Just goes to show the power of that Corvette in the straight line. Not really losing out as further up ahead the Viper does go up the inside of Mortal. Mortal, is he finally immortal to the power of the Viper as we come down the start-finish straight? Polti's now ahead, but completely ahead. Whoa, careful, that was close. As we go through turn 1, through turn 2, Scotty's in 3rd position at the moment, going further back. What's happened here? So Higgsy sat in the middle. Oh dear. What on earth did you do? Right, braking, full braking, lifted. Now on throttle because he's downshifted. Now he's braking at the 70-meter mark. You should really be braking just sort of like halfway between the 150 and the 100. Oh, Claus, you got that all sorts of wrong, mate. As not only have you just destroyed your own teammates, race, you've also destroyed Pyro's, because Claus just pops back out now. Tab's going to get Pyro actually, as Pyro now has got dirty tyres, has lost out. Mason said thank you very much, I'll take 3 positions, and takes off in 6. Senor Fak's lost out in all of this to Prime. It's all happening at turn 1 today. That's how you take turn 1 and 2 sideways. Great job from Prime and Senor Fak for leaving each other enough space going through turn 1s and turns 2. Tab takes 7th. Pyro's now down to 8th. Higgsy's down to 9th. Ross is up to 10th on the final lap of this race. We then got Claus in 11th, Deco in 12th, Kanata in 13th, Arcus in 14th, Turbo in 15th, and Iro in 16th. If Ross holds on wherever he is, he's in a very good spot for the feature race. The biggest person to capitalise, I think, out of this lap here, I think it's got to be Mason. Tab's made good spots as well, and I think Ross has Ross has definitely made up some spots as he's now going to start potentially trying to challenge Higgsy for a 9th position, although he's got to be very careful because he's got a very desperate clause all over the back of him. We'll stay up here for just a moment as I keep an eye on the pulses. Ross doesn't defend, definitely doesn't defend. I don't think he needs, no, he's not going to. Going further forward, as Scotty's got himself as a penalty. Where did he pick that up? 2.5 seconds. He's picked it up back here. So, sorry, I know we've gone back nearly a whole lap, but where did you pick up the penalty? There. Cuts turn 1 completely, all 4 tyres off the track. There's a 2.5 second penalty. That is going to be crunch ouch time. This is going to push him back potentially to Mason. Let's just stay on board with him for just a moment. Actually, I'm not sure if it is. No, Mason's not close enough. So let's come back. Let's follow the top 2 properly this time. So we've got the Viper sitting in the middle in this back straight. We've got Mortal all over the back of him at the moment. Mortal tries to go up the inside. The Viper deep around the outside. Can he carry the speed? He does just about. Mortal, is he going to cut Mortal's nose off? He does. Mortal's not able to do anything as Polty, I believe it's has done. Viper takes victory here in the sprint race, and Mortal in second, Prime in third. Senor back and forth, Scotty in fifth after a really unlucky turn 1 incident. Accidents, excuse me. Mason in 6th, Tap in 7th, Pyro in 8th, Higgsy 9th, Ross does keep 10th, Clauses in 11th, Tico 12th, Arcus 13th, Kanata 14th, Turbo 15th, and Aro brings up the rear. That was bonkers, and I love it. Apologies if I'm getting some names wrong. I don't mean to. Boodum, 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 boodum. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Right, I'm going to bring back, so I haven't seen the results for this. The way I do the commentary here, for those who do not know how I do it, is once my PS decides to actually load it when it says 100%, thank you, I never look at the results for the tier I commentate. So basically, as I see it happen, that is my true and genuine reaction. Having said that, I'm going to put a bit of a prediction out there of who's going to win. I'm going to put the winner and the biggest flop. I'm going to do. I did this back in, I think it was Brazil. Was it Brazil? Yeah, I did this back in Brazil. It was actually quite good fun. So, as we got slight overcast sky here at Monza, we got Ross leading us off on the mediums. We then got Higgsy in second on the mediums. He's going to be one to watch, actually. Very good race pace, Higgsy. We then got Pyro in third on the mediums. Tap on the hards in fourth. Mason in fifth on the mediums. Scotty in sixth on the mediums. Senor Fack in seventh on the hards. Prime in eighth on the mediums. Mortal in ninth on the mediums. Pulte, I believe it is Pulte. Excuse me if I've got it all sorts of wrong on the mediums in the Viper, bringing out the top 10. Claws in the mediums, excuse me, in 11th. Deco on the hards, Arcus on the mediums, Kanata on the mediums, Turbo on the mediums, and so there's a large number of mediums. Finally, Ross's number logs in. Hicksy was incredibly strong last week. I say last race week for this. Anyway, I'm going to go Hicksy top 3. I'm going to say Prime and Pulte top 3. Mortal's got it in him. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get up to the top 3. Biggest flop. I'm sorry, Pyro, but my biggest flop has to sit here. There's a few times where you've nearly lost this car. There's also some times where you have lost this car in spectacular fashions, but so we got Hicksy, Prime, and Pulte top 3, and Pyro is my biggest flop. Let's get cracking. So who's able to capitalise early as we all dart into the slipstream? Mortal warming up his tyres. Interesting. Senior Facts very close to. Senior Facts trying to go around the outside of Scotty going into turn 1. As he made that work, he's now got the inside line for turn 2. He does going further back. We got Claus and Deco having a good battle at the moment. Arcus is just behind. Sorry, I was just trying to make sure I had the correct names, because I was thinking, hang on, that's Ross. But no, Ross is at the opposite side of the pack. He's in first. So these guys haven't really changed any spots at the moment, but they are very, very close and tight together. Deco has got a GTR all over his backside. Kanata's not exactly far behind either. These guys are closer together than if you tried to glue them. As we come around the Lesmos 1, and as we come around the second Lesmos further up ahead, we got Claus trying to go up the inside of Prime. That's not going to work this time. Deco still holds on at the moment to Arcus. Kanata still holds on from Turbo, who's got Aro just behind him, so anyone makes a mistake here, they are losing out big time. Excuse me, Prime Coil down to 10th, Pulte and Mortal up one spot each. Excuse me, Senor Fac in 7th. What is... You dropped a couple of spots here. So Scotty managed to get back out ahead. Ooh, that was... Careful. There's a little nudge there. Scotty managed to get back ahead of Senor Fac between turn 2 and 5. We go around the right-hander. Does Mason not get the best exit? No, he doesn't. Mason does not get the exit he's after. Sits in the middle of the road. This forces Scotty around the outside. It was a little bit indecisive to begin with, but then again, so was I at drive control. Scotty's up to 5th. Mason's down to 6th at the moment. We're back to where we dropped off earlier. Deco's still got Arcus all over the back of him. Kanata and Turbo as they're going side by side down this long back straight. It should be advantage Supra, but Kanata's not going to give up yet. Kanata's got the inside line for the parabolic, and it's not going to matter though. Turbo's just gone straight around the outside, so fantastic move from Turbo, going further up ahead. Let's stay up here. I mean, we're going to come back a couple as Pulte goes up the inside of Mortal. Mason tries to go around the outside of Scotty. That's not going to work this time. Senior Facts in 10th at the moment. Got Claus all over the back of him. Turbo's up to 12th. Great start for opening that from Turbo. Deco down to 13th. Kanata up to 14th. Aro up to 15th. Arcus down to 16th. What's gone on there for Arcus? Let's jump on board. So Arcus did initially get the better exit compared to Deco. as we come down this back straight. It looks like that Lamborghini's got some really good legs actually, as there goes Turbo, who's in this great slipstream. Here comes Kanata. Kanata's going to try and go around the outside. That's not going to work. Arca's sort of hung out to dry a little bit. Does light up the rear as he's coming out of turn 2, so that's how Arca's dropped 4 position. Good couple of positions. Not 4 positions, excuse me, 3. I can't count today. Although further back, Iro and Arcus are still not done. Iro does he just about creep ahead. He doesn't cut in and cut Arcus off completely. Is this going to compromise? No, it's not going to compromise his line. So great move at the moment. Ross out in head, in control. Higgsy still there, still with him. Not going to let Ross get away too quick. Pyro in third. Great start from him. Great opening lap as well. Everyone, oh, Turbo's gone wide. Turbo's gone very wide, coming out of the. I'm going to look it up. It's annoyed me now. I can't remember the name of it. If someone doesn't mind reminding me the name of that corner, that'd be lovely. So Turbo, even though he's gone very wide, does manage to still have the speed to cut the inside of Claws, going into Parabolica. Claws went really wide. This is going to now allow Deco to go straight up the inside of him as well, as we're going side by side down the start-finish straight. Kanata's now dropped a couple of positions. Aro's up to 14th. Arcus is now going to try and have a drag race with Kanata. Deco keeps ahead at the moment. Let's go back a couple of cars. Aro just about manages to keep it together. Arcus does a great move around the outside. Deco finds himself way out in the unknown. What did you do? Did you just light up the rear? Yeah, he does. He just lights up the rear as he comes out of turn 2. Senor Fact tries to challenge Prime at the moment from 9th. Prime's still holding on to 9th position at the moment. Mason in 8th at the moment. Mortal and Polty making massive gains at the moment. We'll stick with these two for the time being. I'm just going to jump on board because it's going to be a lot easier. I'm trying to just think of ways to talk and commentate this on the cinematic, but it's not going to work, so let's just jump back. So we're in a tap train again as we come charging up to Lesmo's 1. Mortal charges up the inside of Scotty. Scotty and Polty going side by side. Mortal's trying to go with him. Mortal does go with him as he sends it up the inside of Lesmo's 2. Mason's going to capitalise as well from Scotty's misposition, but here comes the power to Supra. Here comes the slipstream from the car ahead. This is not going to be the best of positions for that Peugeot. Although here's the slipstream from Mortal straight up ahead. Scotty's still got the inside line, just about manages to hold off Mason at the moment. Further ahead, the Viper is all over the back of the Alfa Romeo as we come charging down this back straight. I think it's just going to be a simple pass. Tap kind of knows it's coming, I think. Although it's not quite as simple as I was thinking. Mortal does lift. Tap brakes very late. This has pushed the Viper out wide. Here comes the Corvette. The Corvette's just come straight up on the inside of the Viper. Is this going to... Now, who's going to push who? Polty does push Mortal. So Polty pushes Mortal and gives Mortal the bump draft to get past Tap. Now he's playing with the throttle because he wants to back off ready for turn 1. So Tap's still there. He's going to try and challenge around the outside. Not going to work this time. Scotty's going to try and capitalise from Tap's misposition. He's tried to. He's not going to be close enough this time. Looking further back. Turbo's managed to get past Senor Fac for 10th position. So the two Lamborghinis struggling here at Monza, going further back than that. Arcus is up to 14th. Aro's down to 15th, battling with Kanata for 16th position. I'll stay with these guys for another couple of corners. Nothing's going on. Okay, let's jump back forward for the moment. These two are on another level at the moment. Going further forward, the top three haven't really changed too much, but here come the absolute intercontinental missiles of two gigantic V8s as they come charging down the hill. Although, let's jump on board here. Scotty challenging Tap for 6th position. Tap gone a little bit wide. He's stayed off those sausage curbs. He's learnt that lesson with Pyro. As here comes Scotty, he's got the better exit. He's also got the better straight line speed. So through goes Scotty. Tap's going to slot in behind. Mason's still there with these guys. And Prime's just behind that. Tap does the same what he did last lap. Centre up the inside. Not worked this time for him. It's cost him quite a few spots actually in a lot of time. So Tap down to 9th. Prime and Mason have both made up a position each. Further back, Turbo clear behind. The two teammates are fighting each other, but they've got Claws just behind them for company as well. Kanata's up to 14th. Let's come back to that later. Senor Fact down to 13th at the moment. Claws is up to 11th. Although potentially not for long as Senor Fact tries to go around the outside. So Deco drops 2 positions. Senor Fact only drops what? Well, doesn't really drop any at all. He kind of stays the same. And Claws gains 2, but here comes Senor Fact again. He's got a really good run coming out of 3. Is he's going to try and look? No, he's not going to look for the inside line. As we come into the chicane. Going further back, Arcus now clears Kanata. Kanata getting a little bit of a wobble on. And Aro bringing up the rear, not having a fantastic race at all. So Hixie finally launching in striking distance for Ross. Ross, what can he do? No, stop. I think it's a scary head, it doesn't matter. So, Hixie not going to challenge in Parabolica. He's going to probably look at challenging into turn 1. Although he might try and do a drag race down the start-finish straights. Hixie goes really, really tight compared to Ross. Ross opens up the corners, going to have slightly faster straight line speed at the moment. It could all change. In the moment, Ross doesn't manage to shut the inside door. I'm going to get a bit fed up with the sound. No, he doesn't. Hixie does back out of it. Pyro very deep on the brakes. We got these two still pinned to each other. The Vipers managed to get past the Corvette from 4th position at the moment, but they're slowly catching up to the top 3. Mason in 7th at the moment, Prime in 8th, Tap down to 9th position, Turbo in 10th, we've then got Senor Fack in 11th, Deco in 12th, Arcus in 13th. What's happened to you? What had happened to you? Oh, penalty, fair enough. Rhino, P1 in the feature, it's an AMG sandwich. You got one at the back, you got one at the front. It's brilliant. But let's stay with the top 2 at the moment. We've got Hixie versus Ross. Ross using every single millimetre of this circuit to try and keep Hixie at bay at the moment. We've got the 2 American V8s in the background. They're still slowly closing in on this top 3. Ross holds off Hixie at the moment. Hixie, as we come through, I believe this is a Scary from memory, as I've just jogged my memory and kicked it into gear. Ross gets a really good run actually. Managed to drop Hixie just enough to put him at bay for Parabolica. Let's have a look at the lap times just so I can just on who's doing what. Let's drop back forward. What's Ross doing? 34. Yeah, 39.5, 39.8, 39.4 for Pyro. Great lap from him. A 38, wow. And a monster lap. That Viper's on an absolute mission to catch these top three, as he's gone 1.3 seconds faster than Ross alone on that previous lap. There's a 48.8 just behind that. There's a 58 from Scotty. Prime's in the 50s as well. We've got a whole gaggle of cars here, ranging from 15th all the way pretty much up to 8th. And there goes Ara coming out of turn 2. But let's stick with this top group. Let's stick up here. That Viper is now closed right up onto the back of Pyro. And his tyres are actually looking very good as well, considering the pace. The absolute pace of that Viper is just something else at the moment. As he's deep in the wheel tracks of Pyro. I'm going to jump back. We're going to watch it from Mortal's point of view. As we come out of, I believe, like I said, it's a Scary. It's become charging down the back straight. Pyro does sit in the middle. This is going to force the Viper around the outside of, I believe it's Polty Ross. You may have to correct me if I'm wrong. He just simply drives around the outside. Out turns Pyro, which is an absolute fabulous move going around the outside of Parabolica Rock. Pyro, does he manage to respond? Can he respond going up into turn 1? Or is Mortal going to be able to close that gap up and potentially send it up the inside? He does send it. He does send it going up into turn 1. Pyro manages to outbrake Mortal and manages to keep 4th position. This is going to cost Mortal quite a bit actually, because his big rival at the moment in that Viper is just steaming off out ahead. Mortal out accelerates. Pyro has become around turn 3. Hang on, I'll come back to that in a minute, boss. Just a second. So, Pyro's dropped down to 5th. Mortal's up to 4th. Potio, is that how you say it? Before I make any further blunders myself. I've not been told off yet, so I'm guessing that's how it says. So Boltiel is in a great spot at the moment in 3rd position. Higgsy managed to close a little bit up to Ross, but Ross just has a great second part of this lap. Has managed to open up that gap just enough again. Has become into Parabolica. Higgsy going a tighter line than Ross on entry. Ross taking it wider on exit, a lot wider, a lot sooner than Higgsy. And managed to open up that car and open up the steering to try and get as much speed as possible. 48. So Higgsy's managed to close the gap by 2/10. Potio has dropped a little bit off the pace at the moment. I think he's just dropped out the slipstream ever so slightly, but this is now allowing Mortal to catch right back up again. Going further back, Pyro's in 5th, Scotty's in 6th, slowly catching up. Prime's in 7th with Mason in 8th. Turbo's in 9th at the moment. Arcus was in 10th, now Taps in 10th. So a battle for the top 10. It's very much underway. Claus is in 12th, Kanata's in 13th, Deco's in 14th. Senor Fax dropped down to 15th. Senor Fax not having a great race at the moment. Neither is Aro. Deco trying a different line. Let's go back further forward. Let's keep an eye on this top group. Yeah, let's definitely keep an eye on this top group so I haven't missed something. So, as we go through turn 1, Ross Let's go back a couple more actually. So whilst I was going through the rest of the grid, I completely missed it. Higsy manages to get past Ross. How does he do it? As we come into turn 1, Ross isn't quite as tight as Higsy. Higsy's got a little bit more manoeuvrability and handling in that Porsche. As we come out of turn 2, as we come down to turn 3, Ross has now got the inside line. So Ross just edges out ahead a little bit, as then just a little bit of a nudge and a bump. But Higsy now has the inside line for 4, switches it for 5. So Ross, after 9 laps of leading this race, does eventually lose out to Higsy. Still very well defended from Ross. Gallant effort, as they could say. But he's now got Peltiol, excuse me, to contend with. He's got the slipstream of a Porsche to help him along against the top speed of a Viper and a Corvette. As the Viper does a massive lift, as the Viper starting to fuel save just a little bit as we come on. As Ross loses out a little bit, he does not have as much momentum now. Ross defends the middle, makes the Viper become a little bit indecisive. Here comes the Corvette. As Corvette tries to go around the outside, does Ross manage to get his nose back up the inside of the Viper? Or are we making this 3 wide? So the Viper has a little twitch. Ross manages to retake second position at the moment. The Viper, who's he going to bump draft? Is he going to bump draft the Alpha? He's going to bump draft. No, he's not. He's going to go straight for the attack. So Ross now down to 4th. Peltiol and Morty, yeah, I can't speak English. Peltiol and Mortal having a battle going through turns 1 and 2, nearly ending Ross's contact, and nearly had contact, excuse me, as we're going through the switch from turn 1 and 2, as those 2 missiles have just cleared Ross quite quickly and efficiently. Now their next target is Higsy. There is another massive lift from the Viper. This Corvette's fuel like very good actually. Yeah, the Viper's drinking it. As Mortal's got himself a 1 second penalty. Let's go a bit further back. What's going on back here? As Talbo's got himself a 1.5 second penalty. Let's stick with this group for a minute. So Taps in 10th still, Arcus in 11th still, and Claus is in 12th still. As we go further back, Kanata's in 13th, now battling with Senor Fak in 14th. So these 2 are very much going to be battling out for the next lap or so. Kanata's at the disadvantage because he's at the head at the moment. He's also got less fuel. Now going further up ahead, Taps managed to put a little bit of distance at the moment between him and Arcus. Got further back, Kanata just about manages to open up a little bit of a gap to Senor Fak. Senor Fak's opened up a bigger gap to Deco, and we're going to go. Yep, Aro's still going. He's still going strong. Going further. What the heck? How did you end up on the inside wall there? Oh, that's how you do it. Now, do you pit? No, you stay out. You could have potentially pitted for an undercut then. Just put a set of hards on, you've already got some damage, you're going to lose out anyway, so you may as well just get some fresh tyres on and potentially carry on going. But the mediums are still looking strong at the moment. So Arcus down to 14th. Deco not close enough to potentially pick up another free spot. Tap is free at the moment, got some clean air ahead of him. Mason's just dropped off the back of Prime at the moment. Scotty and Pyro, however, let's come back a couple of seconds. So Scotty just goes up the inside of Pyro. Pyro, I'm not sure if he really sees him because he sort of turns, looks like he turns in a little bit on him. But Scotty, well, well driven at the moment in 5th position. Pyro's dropped down to 6th. Ross is in 4th with Mortal right ahead of him after having served that penalty. So let's stick with these guys for a couple of corners. Higgsy's opening up the gap to Mortal and Ross at the moment. So we've got flat 6, V8, V8 and V8. At the top at the moment. Let's see, what can Ross do? Can Ross close the gap? No, Ross has dropped back from Mortal a little bit. Maybe starting to feel the tyres at the moment. Ross has got slightly less fuel than Mortal. I think it's got almost the least fuel at the lot, and Higgsy has got a good amount of fuel at the moment. As for tyres, why are you weaving? Careful doing that. Should really be doing that anyway. Anyhow, Pyro managed to close up a little bit on Scotty. Pyro's going to try and stay with Scotty as long as he can. Pull himself along. Maybe even try and save a little bit of fuel. Which would be good actually for him. As Mason comes into the pits. Mason's the first one to pit. And he's had the least amount of fuel out of the lot actually. Pyro, is he close enough for a move into turn 1? No, let's come back a little bit further back. Who else is where? Claus is in 9th, Kanata's in 10th, the Arcus in 11th. There's the 2 Lamborghinis just behind having a battle going into turn 1. Arcus goes around the... that was going so well. So Kanata was having a fantastic race and that has not helped proceeding. So the 2 Lamborghinis finally cleared the BMW. Let's go back further forward. These are some of the closest 2 on track at the moment. Yeah, Mortal's just dipped. Ross lost out almost 2 seconds that previous lap. 1.5 seconds that previous lap alone. Scotty's not quite lost out as much, but Scotty's going to probably have to come in this lap. I should imagine the whole field's coming in this lap. So, who comes in, who doesn't? Higgsy stays out, the top 3 stay out, the top 4 stay out, Scotty comes in, Pyro stays out, Prime stays out, Turbo comes in, Claus stays out because he's got tons of fuel, he can probably go on for another couple of laps yet. Arcus stays out, Deco stays out, Senor Fact doesn't. Kanata has to come in because he cannot do another lap. Aro made up a couple of spots. Tap's pitted as well, so Aro's up into 14th at the moment. Mason and Tap having stopped a little bit earlier. Can these two, can they undercut anyone? Scotty a bit too far ahead. Turbo. Scotty and Turbo have gone onto the softs. Interesting. So, Mason and Tap has managed to undercut both the Lamborghinis. The Lamborghinis. Kanata's gone onto the softs as well, and Senor Fact's gone onto the hards. So there's 3 cars on the softs. Interesting. Very interesting. Ross doing well at the moment, being caught a little bit by Pyro in the GTR further back. We've got Prime doing well at the moment. Of course, probably do another lap or 2. Depends how far and how much he wants to push and how much he wants to risk it. Arcus is in 8th at the moment, but bear in mind there's still another round of pit stops to do. So out of everybody in the moment, this is potentially net P1 as Portiel comes into the pits. Mortal and Higgsy stays out. So does Ross. Okay, he's probably just about got enough fuel. Pyro stays out as well. Prime stays out. Claus stays out. Arcus stays out. Deco stays out. What does Aro do? Does Aro come into the pits? Or does he stay out? Aro stays out, so we're potentially looking at net P1 here, potentially. And Scotty's on the soft, so he's got to really push these tyres and light up the timing boards at the moment. But Boltiel's managed to get out ahead. No, he's going to lose out to Aro's. Yep, Aro's giving him space. Boltiel playing it safe and sensible, but Boltiel's on the soft tyres. Boltiel's got a lot better grip and a lot better traction coming out of turn 2, so Boltiel's actually managed to jump. Well, Aro's not managed to get past Boltiel at all. Excuse me, I need to get my speech around the correct way. So Boltiel potentially looking at the net race lead instead of Scotty. Scotty's not far behind. Let's go further forward. Let's go more near the front. What can we find? What can we see? Brian nearly losing it and stacking it. That's what we found and nearly saw. Ross's fuel tank is almost on fumes. Higgs is nearly on fumes as well, so a lot of these guys have to be coming in. Yes, Higgs is coming in. Mortal's coming in. Ross has to come in. Sure, yes, Ross is coming in pretty much on empty. Pyro stays out for another lap. Higgsy and Ross both on 0% fuel. Mortal's got the best fuel of the lot. Primon's seconds that. Claus comes in. Arcus comes in. Deco comes in. Now, where does Boltiel land? Where does everyone stopping him? Where does his undercut potentially land him? Does he have the overspeed? I don't think he does, because there goes Higgsy on the soft tyres. Boltiel's managed to undercut Mortal. He's also managed to critically Scotty's undercut Ross as well. Now, Prime's also managed to get a good run as well. Now, having said that, Higgsy at the moment is far enough ahead for him to just about be safe. If he can keep a good pace compared to the two cars behind him, he'll be good. Pyro, however, I think Pyro might have overstepped it a little bit. I think he should have come in, because he's now going to come out into a lot of traffic. He was going to come out of traffic anyway, but two missiles. Let's see what these two can do over the next 7 laps. I see. Try and find us a battle on track. Mason in 10th, he's gone out onto the hard tyres. If you're going to do that, I'd have realised the tyre wear was not quite that high and had I think that might have been a mistake going out onto the hards. Because through goes Arcus, who's on the soft tyres. Soft versus hards, we all know how this is going to end. Arcus moved down by Parabolica, by the braking of Parabolica, so Arcus up to 10th, Mason down to 11th. Tap on the mediums after stopping a bit earlier. Deco in 13th, Senor Fak in 14th, Kanata in 15th, and Aro bringing up the rear at the moment. Where did Pyro come out? Pyro came out in 6th, just behind Ross, so we'll stay with these two. Like I said last time, the Battle of the Titans. Let's go further forward. These two any closer? Not really. Scotty's got himself a 1.5 second penalty. This is going to push him into the depths and to the clutches of these two. If not these two, definitely Ross. Camparo, can he close up at all over the next couple of corners? He's got a couple of laps fresher tyre, well, he's definitely got a lap fresher, tyres to Ross. Can he use that to his advantage? Let's stay with Pyro. Let's see where Scotty ends up landing. I don't think it's going to be enough for these two to really capitalise. If anyone's going to capitalise, I think it's going to be Ross. It's going to be a last minute. No, it's not. So Ross wasn't able to capitalise on Scotty's penalty, but he's close enough for now for the toe. Can Ross use the toe to his advantage? Can he manage to tow Pyro up to then make it a three-way scrap? As Pyro, I believe, Ross, sets his own personal best, I believe, the whole race. Ross not able to get close enough, going further forward. These two are definitely close enough to start making moves. Higsy, great outlap at the moment. 48.6 out on his own. But 48.1 done by Portillo. So half a second lot into the gap for first. Let's become further back. Scotty's in fourth and then opening up the gap to Ross in fifth. Pyro in 6th, Prime in 7th, Turbo in 8th at the moment. Arcus with a 3-second penalty. Was that a 3-second penalty for what I think it is? Sorry, just a moment, because okay, Scotty did that, and Scotty did that a slight bit worse, in my opinion, and got a 2.5 second penalty, which is still quite strict. But that's really unlucky from Arcus. He's got a 3-second corner cut penalty, even though it wasn't really a corner cut. So Arcus's race is pretty much done, I think. Going further forward, let's stay with these guys. That's just really unlucky. So, the Corvette and the Viper up ahead, starting to try and reel in Higsy. With 5 laps to go, I'm not sure if that's going to be possible by the time these two actually catch up. After using up a lot of the tyres' healths, I don't think they're going to have enough tyre quite at the end. Portillo's tyres is not really looking that great at the moment. He might be susceptible to Mortal's attack at the moment. Going further forward, Higgsy's tyres are looking really good. Mortal, does he attack? No, he stays behind at the moment, although he does look for a slightly better exit. Gets a straighter exit, can't quite manage it this time. Going further back, the pack has started to group up a little bit. Scotty at the front, Turbo's just in the background, slowly starting to catch. Ross has managed to drop Pyro just a little bit. He's now catching up to Scotty. lovely lines going through turns 4 and turns 5. A little dust kicked up from Scotty further up ahead. Ross smooth as ever. Pyro being very, very smooth and very good at the moment. Going further forward. Poltios, excuse me, is in third. What's happened here? Let's stay with the top two. There's been a change for second position. What's happened here? Mortal just sends up the inside of turn 4, gets it all cleanly squared away. Well, Poltio tries to get on the throttle, has a massive moment coming out of turn 5. So Mortal's up to second. Great move from Mortal at the moment. A turbo fastest lap has done a 47.4. That is a monster lap. Is anyone else in the 47s? Mortal's in the 47s. Prime was in the 47. Claus has done a 47. Arcus has done a 47. I think that's it. That's it for 47s. There's only a handful of drivers that have managed to get into the 47s, Mortal being one of them on the previous lap. He's also managed to drop his rival in the Viper, Poltio. He's managed to drop him a little bit, but Higgsy's lead is slightly extended. Not by a great deal though, but going further back. Let's stay with these guys. We've got Scotty versus Ross, and here comes Pyro with a great run coming out of the final corner, excuse me, as I cannot get my English set straight in order at the moment. As Pyro hasn't managed to get a great exit himself coming out of turn 2, Prime's had a great one as we're going round turn 3. Pyro's got the inside line. Prime's going to try and have a look. No, he backs out of it in the end. He's going to try and get Pyro to look in his mirrors. Pyro in a great position at the moment in 6th position. Ross in a great spot in the top 5. Let's have a quick look further back as Claus has got himself a 2-second penalty. Arcus is still in 10th even after his 3-second penalty. Mason's in 11th, Taps in 12th, Deco's in 13th, closely followed by his teammate in 14th. Them two could have some great fun and a great battle. We'll actually follow these two for just a moment before we head back to the bottom of the grid. Deco manages to hold off his teammate at the moment as we come into a Skyry. And then coming a little bit further back. Granata holds off Aro at the moment, going further forward again. Claus under pressure from Arcus after having served his penalty. Did he have a moment on top of that? Was it just his penalty? No, just his penalty. So Claus defends the inside. He feels like he has to defend the inside. Arcus has got slightly more speed than him. Can he try and drive it around the outside? I don't think that's going to work this time. Claus holds the inside line. Can he hold off Arcus as we come charging down the start-finish straight? Arcus deep in the slipstream. Claus doesn't defend. Arcus keeps it tight to that Porsche, trying to open up turn 1 as much as possible. Arcus ahead of the braking zone at the moment. Arcus has gone up to 9th position. Done it in the braking going into turn 1. So great move from Arcus. Going further up ahead. Let's jump back. A couple of... yeah, let's definitely jump back some. So Ross challenges Scotty for 4th position as Ross tries to go up the inside of turn 1. Everyone's scrambling from tussling for position. Pyro gets a little bump which nearly sends him up, nearly pushes out Ross. Ross defends from Prime. Pyro's dropped down to 7th. Prime's not got a great run. Scotty's disappearing. Scotty's going to try and capitalise on these guys fighting whilst he can. Prime's got the inside line. 4 turns 4. Ross brakes very late. Pyro brakes very late as well. Let's come back onto Pyro's point of view. This Supra sandwich is getting a bit tighter as Turbo behind starting to close in on these guys at the moment. Ross, can he hold on from Prime at the moment as we go through the second Lesmos? Round to the right, Ross gets a little squiggly, and Pyro's traction control kicks in just a little bit to keep him all stable. With 2 laps to go at the moment, I want to jump back forward to the front in just a moment because it looks like that gap at the front's dropped. Let's jump back forward whilst we can. Whoa, what? Mortal had a 2-second penalty. Where did he pick that up? Oh, there it is. Just on the entry of turn 4. He's picked up a 2-second penalty. So Higgsy was starting to get a little bit of pressure from Mortal, and that's now going to be null and void because Mortal's got himself a 2-second penalty. What? I spotted that. What's happened here? What's gone on here? Ooh, very well saved. Very well saved as well, alright. Sorry, I thought I spotted something. I thought I spotted a little crash. And I didn't. It was just people thought I did. So, Viper has a massive overspeed compared to the Corvette as we come up to lap 21 of 22. Higgsy's lead is just extended again. So Higgsy's not going to feel any pressure. Ross is ahead at the moment. Prime's still in 6th. Pyro's in 7th. Dropped off a little bit from the back of Prime. Turbo starting to close the gap a little bit. I don't think it's going to be enough. Mortal not happy with this 2-second penalty. He's closed that gap right back up to Poltiel. As we're going to stay with these guys for the next couple of corners. I have a feeling there's going to be a move coming up here soon. I'm going to keep an eye out on the battle for 5th with Ross, Prime and Pyro. There goes Higgsy, our race leader. Poltiel at the moment is holding up. Mortal is doing a great job of defending his position at the moment. Let's come back a couple as the gap has significantly shrunk between these 3. We're going to stay here with these guys. I'll keep an eye on the top 3, excuse me. Ross feels like he has to defend at the moment. Ross opens up the gap just a little bit to Prime. Prime still in the slipstream of Ross, but Pyro's got the benefit of a double slipstream, a double tow from the 2 drivers ahead of him as we come on to the final lap of this race here in Italy. Prime's just dropped off a little bit. Pyro, can he do anything coming up into turn 1, or is the top speed of that Corvette just a little bit too far and a bit too much for him? Ross defends the inside line. Prime's gone all the way out to the grass. Pyro goes around the outside of turn 1, now the inside of turn 2. Prime's just been shown the gravel and the curb. by Pyro and by Ross. So Ross defended it very well going into turn 1. Brian tried to stick his nose up the inside, didn't work, so he's had to break out and get out early. His missed positions compromised him, and Pyro's gone back up to 6 positions. We go further ahead. These two have managed to are still squabbling for position whilst this was all going on. Was that a push pass I just spotted? Let's stay here. Higgsy up ahead is long gone. It was very late. That was a little bit of a push there as we're going into turn 1, turn 2. That's going to offset Portio. And these two getting all sorts of squiggly, coming out of turn 2. It's not going to help I think they both realise now that the charge for first is no longer on. It's now going to be a charge for second. Who can be second best? As Mortal defends the inside of turn 4, Portio tries to go around the outside. His tyres are very, very nearly cooked. Portio's got a lot more tyre. At the moment, as we go round Lesmo's 1. Can the Viper's tyres hold on for another couple of corners? Oh, careful, as both drivers nearly lose it in the gravel. Coming out of the second Lesmos, they both don't really gain anything. They lose quite a bit of time to Higgsy, who's well out ahead at the moment. Coming back here, nothing's really changing back there. Let's stay with these guys. As Portio's very, very late on the brakes, that's going to cost him dearly, so that's it. Mortal's got it. But we're going to come back forward. We're going to jump on board with Higgsy, who we've not really seen too much this feature. He's just been out ahead on his own, doing his thing. He followed Ross for 9 laps, then on lap 9 he managed to pass for the lead, and since then he's not really been touched by anybody as he comes out of the final corner for the last time here at Monza and takes victory here at Italy. We then got Mortal in second, we got Portio, in third, we got Ross in fourth. Great position for him. We then got Pyro in false a second. Pyro was in 5th and had a 1 second penalty, so that now promotes Scotty up to 5th. What's happened to Scotty? Because let's come back a couple of seconds, because Scotty was in 4th. I knew that for a fact. Scotty just runs wide. He's got no tyres left. He nearly loses out to Prime as well, so Ross takes 4th position. We then got Scotty in 5th, Prime in 6th, Pyro in 7th, Turbo in 8th. Claus versus Arcus as we come around the final corner for the last time. It's going to be a drag race between these two. Arcus gets 9th. Did Claus back out of that then? Looked like Claus backed out. No, he just didn't shift. He didn't change gear quite quickly enough. So Claus in 10th, Mason in 11th, Senor Fact 12th, Tap 13th, Deco. Not having the best of races. Brings it over the line for 14th. When I got Kanata in 15th, and then last but certainly not least is Aro with a very, very hard evening and one to forget, I believe, for him. So there we have it, Monza. Now I am just going to do standings. Is that the one I'm after? This is the one I'm after. So, Senor Fact, even though having an evening, it was very, very hard evening for him. He's still in the lead, but with 22 points going into the final 2 races of this season. We then got Mortal in 2nd. We got Arcus in 3rd. We got Ross back up into the top 10 in 4th position. Then we got Higgsy in 5th position. There is... So we got Ross and Higgsy at the moment. No, is it Ross and Higgsy? Ross and Arcus, excuse me, are tied with 100 points at the moment for 3rd position, for 3rd and 4th position at the moment. And then we got, like I said, Higgsy rounding off the top 5. Looking over at the constructors, we got the Lamborghini Huracans with 210 points. 5 points behind them is the Corvettes. And then in third position is the Mercedes AMG team. That's only 1 point ahead of the Supras and are only 9 points ahead of the Nissan GTRs. So the constructors is all still very much to play for at the moment. So is the championship. So that's it. That's Monza. So join me again on Thursday this week, which will be whatever date it is. Give me a minute. On the 30th, excuse me. So join me again on the 30th to have a look around Dragon's Trail, and then I will bring you guys the final round next week. So hope you have fun. I did, and we'll see you soon.